Welcome, 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 welcome. Today is cold and I'm wearing 3 layers, but that doesn't take away the fact that I'm going to teach you something about sulfuric acid and how to make it. In module 2, we learned about the Haber process and how to make ammonia in a lab. Today, we're going to learn about another industrial process. In other words, a process that takes place in an industry level where they use, chemicals and they use scientific equipment to make a compound. And this week we are making sulfuric acid. Let's get into it. Okay, so making sulfuric acid, like why do we make this? Okay, so the reasons are, number one is it's useful, right? It's a useful substance, and what is it useful with? Well, it's useful again with fertilizers. Okay, fertilizers. It's actually used in the Haber process. We didn't get too into it because it's quite technical, but they actually use sulfuric acid. On a side note, sulfuric acid's chemical formula is H2SO4. You're just gonna have to go and remember that one. Fertilizers, it's used in detergents. Those are things like when you're washing up stuff, or when you're wanting to clean something that has bacteria or anything like that, you can use sulfuric acids. It's also used in paints. Let's just move the raw materials. I'm going to teach this to you in a second. Just move that down there. It's used in paints. It's also used in dyes, and it's used in artificial fabrics. Okay, so it's pretty valuable compound. So this is the reason why we make it in industry. So what raw materials do you think we are going to need? We'll think about the word sulfuric acid. What do you think we're going to need? Okay, good. You might have said sulfur. Okay, sulfur. We are going to need water as well. And we are going to use the air, and specifically we are going to use oxygen within the air. So how does it work? Like, what's the process? Well, there's 3 stages. Okay, first stage, here we go. We take our raw sulfur. Here it is, just the symbol I'm going to use, sulfur, and then we are going to use the oxygen over here, and it's as simple as that. We take sulfur, we burn it in oxygen. That's why I've provided you with a nice little picture of a Bunsen burner, and we are going to make sulfur dioxide. Now this is a poisonous gas. It's very toxic, and not only is it poisonous, if you release it into the environment, let's go to the other camera here. If you release it into the environment, the sulfur dioxide will come back onto the earth as acid rain, and this can be obviously very detrimental to things on the planet, like ourselves or our cars or animals. Okay, so sulfur dioxide. We've got sulfur, we've got oxygen gas. Always good to say oxygen gas when there's 2 atoms of oxygen. And we make, let's get a little plus sign, and we make sulfur dioxide. Di meaning 2, so 2 atoms of oxygen. Oxide, another word for oxygen. Beautiful. So that's stage 1. Let's go to stage 2. Stage 2, we take this sulfur dioxide, and again we combine it with more oxygen to make sulfur trioxide. Jeez, that's a big word. Sulfur dioxide, I'm going to write this super quickly, plus oxygen gas. We're making sulfur, I'm going to write this one a little bit slower, sulfur trioxide. Okay, and I've shown you a little process, a little picture of here. This is actually just a sort of a sulfur mine, and you can see the sulfur dioxide coming off over here. So you can take that, you can harness it, you can burn it with more oxygen, make sulfur trioxide. Then stage 3, you take sulfur trioxide and you combine it with water, and what you will form is H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid. Now, of course, there's a very simplified version because this is junior high. So, yeah, when you get into international GCSE, we'll go into a little bit more of the nitty-gritties of this. But for now, just understand the process in its simple form. Okay, so we got water, we got sulfur trioxide, and we are making sulfuric acid, sulfur trioxide. It's as simple as that. That's all really you have to know. Let's quickly just go back to the top, just to make sure we understand why are we making sulfuric acid. And again, it's because it's very useful for all of these substances. Guys, I hope it's been a very informative video, and see you next time.